right. All right, good people. Here we are. 0-2. 0-2, folks. And welcome to the Terrible Towel post-game show. We will get started in just a second. I just need to share the link really quick with a few special people, and then we'll talk about it. We shall talk about it. And there's a lot to talk about in this game, boy. There's a lot. And I know a lot of you guys are probably in your feelings. I'm sure you are. I don't blame you, but it's a lot to discuss here in this game, man. So give me a second. You guys know how I do. I got to send the link. Unfortunately, I can only send it to a few via text. So give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds, and then we'll have at it. And I'm going to try to burn through this one, even though I do allow an hour worth of time. And, if I can get done faster than that today, I will. Obviously, with it being Sunday, I haven't had my Sunday dinner yet. I'll head back over to my father-in-law Leonard's house once I'm done here. But, I'm not going to sell you guys short. I will allow the full hour to be there. It's just, like I said, if I can burn through it in an hour or less, that's what I'll do. All right, man. So really quick, man, let's take a look at some of you guys. Whoa, a bunch of you in here already. So I'm not going to waste too much time on, the introductions. Maybe we'll save that for Terrible Towel Tuesday. But see a couple of you guys freaking out. Okay, I understand. All right, man, so let's get to it. And again, the phone calls, guys, I will be accepting the phone calls tonight. You see the number right there on the screen, 619-924-0818. We're going to keep the calls short. I need you guys to do that, as well as I will keep my rhetoric short. All right, that's fair. So where shall we begin? It's a lot to talk about, but you guys know my routine. I talk about the first drive of both defense, or first possession, I guess I should say, of defense and offense. We'll do that first. Then I'm going to dive head first into everything that I am disappointed about. Here we go. So we get the ball offensively first. What do? We go empty on the very first play. For you guys who checked out my pregame and keys to victory video, what did I say? Let's not do that so early. Let's run the football. Let's try to establish some real tempo. Let's establish, an identity for the day. And I understand maybe you want 5 wide to be your identity, but come on, man. I feel like we're too predictable when we're in 5 wide. Well, anyway. Well, not always 5 wide. Sometimes it's just empty set. Doesn't always have to be 5 wide outs. We get sacked on 3rd and 5. We ran the empty set once again. And Jadeveon Clowney affected the pocket a lot. He had a lot to say early in that game. First 2 drives. A lot to say. Clowney was pretty quiet later on in the game, but he had a lot to say, and he was very disruptive early on. Defensively, no call on Metcalf. I thought DK Metcalf pushed off on one of the plays that he got there on the first drive, and they didn't call anything, but it is what it is. Steelers get the sack on a stunt. It was a great, the little T&E that they call it. TJ Watt loops around. Cam Haywood got the sack. And there you have it, okay? So we both went 3 and out. Well, I think they might have got a first down, but either way, we didn't give up any points. Now, let's talk about some of the keys of the game, man. Where do I start, man? Let me hit the offense first, because there's a lot I want to cover on defense, all right? People, we're too predictable. We're way too predictable when it comes to offense. I'm starting to see that, right? We look really predictable early on. And excuse me, guys, if you see me looking over here, I got to make sure I got everything set up here. Give me a second, man. All right, we got it. I want to make sure I had everything set up as far as, my plugins and all of that. We're too predictable, especially from empty set. We seem to, for whatever reason, we seem to lean heavy on just sticking to the script, if that makes sense. We don't make enough changes. Like Randy Fiedner wasn't taking any real chances. early on, just very predictable in nature. And I'm like, what? Why? What's going on? When Ben Roethlisberger was out there, and we're going to get to that. That's huge. But we're just doing this. I didn't see anything different. I didn't see anything that made me perk my eyes up and say, oh, that's different. I didn't see different routes or combinations of run plays. It just looks very vanilla. Ironically, when Ben goes out, Mason Rudolph comes in, and I start seeing some different things happening. Play action. Did I not talk about that in the pregame? Now we're starting to do play action. We do a flea flicker. Starting to see more things, running the ball from different formations, different combinations of receivers out there. Where was all of this early on, Randy Fichtner? I don't understand it. I don't know if it's him or I don't know if it's Ben and he's controlling the offense when he's out there, but the offense was not moving. We really didn't look that great when Roethlisberger was out there. Did a couple things, and I'm not putting it all on Ben, but I'm saying the play calling was just very, very basic. Look at the difference. And I know it's different schemes, so I'm not acting like we're going to change. You know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like every play is going to be different every week. Well, look at the difference in the way Seattle attacked us. A lot of different looks. A lot of different looks, right? So let's keep going with the offense. I got a laundry list of stuff here. Dante Moncrief, man. Turning point of the game. Turning point of the game. And that's when Mason Rudolph comes in. And Mason Rudolph, you kind of easing him in. So you know the first 1 or 2 plays is probably going to be a run. They let him throw the ball on second down on a nice comeback. Place the ball where it needs to be placed. When you're talking about tight man coverage, hits Moncrief in the hands, bounces off, intercepted by McDougal. That was the changing and turning point of the game. Right there. I don't know, man. I'm going to say this about the offense and defense. Again, here's the question that I ask about Tomlin. I want to know exactly what he manages on game day. He's the head coach. He's got to take the brunt of the blame. I understand that. But hear me out for a second. The philosophy seems to be in Pittsburgh, all of my coaches, they're great coaches. I allow my coaches to coach. The job of the head man, is to manage. What I mean by manage, I want to see you have more input. And let me be honest. I don't know. I don't know if he is or not. They don't pan to him all the time. So I'm not acting like I know everything. But I would like to see a different plan develop throughout the game if things are not working. I hope Tomlin is putting his input in and saying, okay, we got to come out of that, Randy. This ain't working. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? Butler, we got to come out of this. Let's try this. This isn't working. I hope he's doing these things. And you're really going to understand my point when I get to the defensive side of the ball. So it's hard for me to put every single aspect of the game on Tomlin, whether we win or lose, but I got to hold him accountable for some of these things because I don't see a lot of changes. Here's another thing that happened late in the game that I got to put on Tomlin. Me personally, if you're going to take that time out before the 2-minute warning, do it earlier. If I'm not mistaken, that particular play ended at around 2 minutes and 43 seconds or some odd seconds. We let it tick down 20 to 25 seconds before calling the first timeout. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, timeout, timeout. Let's take a timeout or two before the 2-minute warning. Use the 2-minute warning as your third timeout, and then you keep your real third timeout in your pocket. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe they're going to let it, tick down, and they decided they're going to do it after the 2-minute warning. But when they eventually did call a timeout 20 or so seconds later, I'm looking at him like, bruh, what are you doing? And this is the thing that I've been saying about Mike Tomlin that I will always question. Has not been great with clock management and challenges. Those two things Mike Tomlin has not been great at. Let me adjust the light, guys. I feel like I'm a little too bright there. All right, there we go. He's just not been great with that. It is what it is. There's no way around that. I don't agree with everything that Mike Tomlin does. I don't think that Mike Tomlin is a terrible coach. But like I said, I'm tired of seeing the same things happen over and over and over and over. And offensively, we just look very stagnant, man, when Ben was out there. I don't know what it is. I don't know, man. I'll have more for you on Tuesday when I analyze the tape. You guys know these are the initial reactions. Let's get to the defense. Oh, wait. Before I go defense. Deontay Johnson, guys, I think needs to probably be the X receiver sooner than later. I was happy to see this. Now, this is a coaching decision. I don't have it up yet. Hold on, guys, because I want you guys to understand the full extent of my happiness here. I don't have my round of applause up. I'm about to bring it up here for you. But I'm going to, preliminarily say, I'm going to throw a round of applause. Here we go. I think it's working now. Great job, Coach Tomlin. You see something wrong, pull the guy out of the game. 2 times that I saw him do that I was happy to see in this game. Moncrief, get out of here. Get you out of here. And you knew who else he pulled? And I turned around and I told Leonard, I said, oh, he might get pulled out of the game. Ryan Switzer. Mike Tomlin doesn't like fumbled punt returns. The combination of him and Danny Smith, they don't play them games. Remember the Chicago game? When Eli Rogers fumbled the ball away, we never saw him return a punt again. I hope this might be the start of a new. Deontay Johnson might become the full-time punt returner because I think this kid has something special that he could offer. A little more pop than what Ryan Switzer has been showing us. But great job, Tomlin. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to managing the team. Get him out of there. I know you wanted to get his confidence back up. I was saying, hopefully you can get Moncrief, work him back in. But hey, if he messes up again, he got to go. So it was good to see that. So I'm hoping Deontay Johnson will eventually be that, or maybe we're going to start working him in as that guy. Because I think Deontay Johnson can offer something special. Made a great catch on 3rd down. You know, when Mason Rudolph threw it inside and he came in and was going to the ground and pulled it in. Deontay Johnson, I think, can be special. Had a drop in the game. I didn't miss that. But it's good to see that he looks like he's getting a little bit of burn. Also, speaking of receivers, Ben Roethlisberger just missed Halton on that deep throw. Oh, man. He just missed him. Just missed him. I see that Johnny Halton is going to be a guy that is probably going to be our deep threat. He seems to be able to get behind a lot of people, and that could have been a big play. Unfortunately, it was not. Okay? And then also, if Mason Rudolph is able to throw the ball out a little further on that little flea flicker, maybe Juju gets further down the field. You know, we could say if, I know, but I'm just pointing these things out. And I think Mason Rudolph, let me say that really quick because I was almost off for Rudolph, and I didn't mean to go off of him that fast. Mason Rudolph, we have a backup, folks. We have our backup quarterback. You're going to have to deal with him throwing some interceptions here and there. Keep in mind he's still young. Those are growing pains. You go through it with every quarterback for the most part. Some dudes are special. But we even went through it with Ben Roethlisberger in his rookie year when he throws that interception to Rodney Harrison. It's going to happen. But what I like about Mason Rudolph is his poise. You've heard me talk about that all preseason. He looks way more confident. He's showing a lot of poise out there. He looks like he's ready. The big lights doesn't scare him. His movement in the pocket, a little bit of mobility, scrambles for a 1st down. Only thing he's going to probably have to work on is, get the looking off part. He's going to have to, learn how to manipulate things with his eyes a little bit because I kind of watched him and he did kind of stare down where he was going a few times. But these things can be corrected. I just wanted to see a positive, a positive impact from Mason Rudolph. If that was Josh Dobbs coming in there, I wouldn't have even thought that the game would have been close. So we have to applaud Mason Rudolph for the job that he did. Now let's talk about the defense. Don't put this loss on the defense, people. And let me explain to you why. The Pittsburgh Steelers right now, we're not the lights out defense. We're not the defensive effort we saw from the Chicago Bears. And hey, even the Green Bay Packers in that first game. We don't have that defense yet. We're working towards that. Devin Bush is still coming around. He's a rookie. The past, touchdown he gave up, they're going to give him credit for that. But, his stature. Russell Wilson made an outstanding throw. Threw it on the outside shoulder. The Disley or whatever the guy's name is, went up and got it. It happens. Even the best of them get beat. Devin Bush will be okay. The defense played pretty daggone good in the first half. Okay? First quarter, we had 3 sacks. We seen pressure from Stephon Tuitt, getting multiple sacks. TJ Watt doing what he does. Gets a sack. Forced fumble. We got some ballers on that defense. And let me tell you who else really showed up. Steven Nelson. What I say last week? That he's probably the best corner on the team. We didn't hear his name negatively today. We didn't hear his name at all last week. But when we heard his name today was when he was defending one-on-one situations with DK Metcalf. Knocked the ball out 2 or 3 times, if I remember correctly. And one time, drew a PI and a face mask against Metcalf. Steven Nelson pretty much clamped him when it was one-on-one. Defense played great in the first half. But we're not the defense that's going to stop teams every time. The offense went 3 and out consecutively. We had 3 drives early in the game with no points. We're not the type of team that's built to do that. We're not yet. Maybe over the course of the season we'll get even better at defense. There's gonna be some holes. It's early in the season. There's gonna be spots where teams are going to score on you. And then some other problems that I'm gonna talk about here in a minute. Give me a moment. I'm gonna get there. But the second half, man, it's what I say all the time. No adjustments as far as your approach. Now, granted, I don't know the game plan coming in. I don't know all of the play calls. All I can do is judge by what I see transpire on the field. And I'm not talking about individual effort. I'm talking about that old cliche when they say, put your guys in the best position to win. And when I look at some of the things Keith Butler did, it grinds my... Let me tell y'all what he did, man. Let me find the note. I don't even need the note, but I'm going to look for it just in case I had something else to say. Let me find it. Where is it? Here we go. Keith Butler gets caught blitzing Mike Hilton, and Wilson hits the wide open receiver. Did y'all see the one when Mike Hilton was lined up over DK Metcalf, and then he blitzes? And he was wide open. I mean, nobody within 5-10 yards of him. Then he blitzed Mike Hilton consecutively 3 times. Here's the problem with the blitz of Mike Hilton. We don't disguise it. Russell Wilson saw it coming. And every time, he pretty much threw to where he knew a hole in the defense was going to be. Every time. And you know how I know that Russell Wilson has that capability? For you guys who play Madden, in Madden 20, what is one of Russell Wilson's X factors? What's his zone capability? Reading the blitz. Everybody in the world knows that Russell Wilson is good at doing that. But here you are blitzing Mike Hilton, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Mike Hilton, the way we blitz him, there's no disguise at all. He doesn't even do the run up, run back, run up, run back, run up, run back. No, he just shows you, I'm coming. Here I am. I'm coming. That's coaching. That's Keith Butler. And that's what I'm saying about how much does Tomlin control as far as saying, stop doing that. Let's do this. We'll never know these things. And that's why I have to put blame on Tomlin as well, even though, like I said, we all know the philosophy in Pittsburgh. Your coach is coach. But how long are you going to let the bleeding continue to bleed, man? And like I said, if our offense produced more while Ben was out there, maybe we're not having this conversation. And that's why I'm not going to beat up the defense. There's still going to be times where we're going to give up plays and we're not going to be able to stop teams. We're not a lights out defense yet. We're not. Missed tackles. Anthony Chickalo on that long touchdown run by Penny. I saw Terrell Edmonds miss a tackle. There was a couple missed tackles out there. You know who looked very good tackling? Cam Sutton. Let's get to those notes, because there was something that I wanted to talk about there too. Let me see where it is, man. And like I said, guys, I don't always need the notes. It's just that a lot of times during the game, I make additional notations along with it. So, okay, so what I said was great defensive stop late before the end of the first half. Cam Sutton made 2 back-to-back outstanding plays where he tackles the man one-on-one, very close. You know, right after they catch it, he's right there within seconds. And Steven Nelson played great coverage against Metcalf, and I talked about, yeah, he drew the offensive PI and face mask. Great stuff there. But overall, it's not, I don't necessarily think it's just the players. A lot of it is the position that Butler and or Tomlin are putting these guys in. Can we get some disguised coverages? Can we? Can we? And I gotta give a shout out to Pete Carroll. Great challenge on the pass interference from Terrell Edmonds. It was very slight, but you gotta kind of live with that one. I didn't necessarily agree, but I could see why they called it. Didn't necessarily agree with it, but I understand. It did look like he altered his movement a little bit. But I mean, Edmonds should have the right to turn and look for the ball also. So it was a little tic-tac, but great challenge. That killed us right there. It would have been 3rd and 20, I believe. Was that the one? Yep. It would have been 3rd and 20. And what about Daniel McCullers, man? Dan McCullers called for a personal foul on a field goal attempt, and the Seahawks score on the very next play. That's 3 points. What was the final score? Had they not gotten a touchdown, who knows? Maybe we're in the lead. Listen, I don't like to play that game, but you have to. We held them to 3 there, and then they turn around and score on the next play, which I believe was the play that he threw it, you know, back shoulder over Devin Bush. It's just frustrating, man. I'm about to take the phone calls, but I just want to say this really quick, guys. It's like, it's week 2. It's not the end of the world. We've seen worse than this, and we've came out of it, and we've actually gone to the playoffs, etc., etc. My issue right now, though, the reason why I don't have a lot of confidence is, again, I'm seeing the same type of behavior from the defensive coordinator. Same behavior. We're going to have to do something different. And hopefully, you know, I saw Steelers Depot tweet out. Shout out to Kenyon who sent it to me. Maybe Terrell Austin gets a shot now. I don't know. We need to do something different. And I'm sorry, guys. I didn't talk about the biggest news. Ben Roethlisberger goes out. Let's hope that's not anything serious. You know, it might be something torn or whatever. Just, you know, kind of going off of his reaction. If you watch, he throws it and he immediately grabs the elbow. It might be some type of ligament, something. I hope not, because he stayed in for a while. But Ben goes down. So, guys, we could be looking at a Mason Rudolph-led football team here for a while. Which right now, listen, I like his demeanor. I'm cool with that. Of course, you want Ben in there, and I know a lot of you guys that feel like Ben is over the hill. Y'all are probably happy. But like I said, temper your expectations. There's going to be growing pains with Mason Rudolph. But, and James Conner, we got to talk about that. Conner seems to can't stay healthy, man. And the last thing I wanted to talk about really quick, Benny Snell with a nice big run on 3rd and 1. That was encouraging to see that. That was really encouraging to see that. And I think I hit everything else, man. I think I covered everything else. But those were really the keys of the game, man. We just couldn't stop the bleeding when we needed to. Couldn't get off the field on 3rd down, or there was a penalty that negated something. And the offense was at a snail's pace early on. And that's why we lost this game. Do I have confidence? I'm still going to support them, obviously. It's 0-2. But we got to seriously change some things. We can't continue in this season with the same type of game plan. We can't. We could very well go out to California next week and lose. It's very possible we could come back 0-3. Then we got Cincinnati at home, which is generally a tough game. We edge them sometimes, but could be tougher than we think. Then we got the Ravens, which I haven't checked the score yet to see how they ended up because I saw the Cardinals came back. But let's take some calls. You guys know the routine. It's a bunch of y'all in the queue. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So y'all already know what I'm going to say. We're going to have to cut that 2 minutes for the day. Quick and to the point. A minute. Quick and to the point. And then I got to get you out of here. First up, area code 443. What you got for us, man?
What's up, Sim? This Gold Drip. I'm going to use all of this minute that I got. But, Ben, the last 3 games without AB, you have to think about the Week 17. Hasn't looked good.
Yeah.
And then next week we have to go to the West Coast. Jesus have mercy. Dan McCullers' penalty. I think people are killing Bush a little too much for that tight end touchdown. He's undersized. That's going to happen.
Yeah. Great throw,
Steven
too.
Nelson was balling.
Yeah. I said it was a great throw, too. I mean, some balls you can't defend.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. When it comes to quarterbacks that come in, especially young ones, they look good initially. I like Mason, but they all look good initially. Gardner Minshew came and lit it up last week. Baker last year. Dak that year. When you don't have film on a quarterback, it changes when you have film on him.
Right.
And this is the last thing I got to say. I was always a Ben fan, but after this, seeing the first play after Ben's gone, we want a flea flicker. Maybe Randy wants to run certain things and Ben is saying no. Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, man. Very good point. I appreciate the call, but that's what I said too, man. I agree with him. We don't know. We don't know. Because all I know is it looks like the offense is very, very much the same when Ben is running it. And that playbook got opened up when Ben was out of there. I don't know. All right, good job on the time, and good job to myself, too, for not talking too much. Next up, in and out, area code 973. What you got for us?
What's going on, Sim? This is Jay Will.
What's up, man?
I'm gonna start. What's going on? I'm gonna start off by saying I'm just watching this season, man. I love my Pittsburgh Steelers forever, but I'm just watching to see who going to show up with us less talented team. I want to see who going to make plays, who going to show up. That including guys we paid and guys we didn't pay.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna touch on before I in the call. I'm gonna touch on what you were saying, man. I don't like neither one of our offense. Neither one of our coordinators, man.
Yeah.
I really don't. You know what I mean? I want to say Randy Fichtner. Randy Fichtner is basically, I want to blame it on him, but we don't know, like you said with Ben, man.
Yeah.
Because how when Mason get in the game, all of a sudden we just start doing all this stuff that we don't normally do with Ben in the game. That's why I think he got a love fest with Randy Fichtner, because Randy Fichtner get him the reins to do whatever he want to do. You know what I mean? But, Keith Butler got to go, man. I'm tired of this basic defense. I'm tired of saying the same thing, and I got to take Mike Tomlin a hit for that too, because if you see stuff ain't going right, you got to step in and make some changes. That's it.
You got to, and you're good call, man. I appreciate that, and you're absolutely right. You have to. That's why I said we don't know, but we can only judge by what we're seeing. So I will never go as far as saying, "Oh, Tomlin," but we all agree that the same thing is happening. So obviously, Tomlin ain't making no changes. Come on, man. I need you guys to do something different. All right, moving on. We got a bunch of calls in the queue, guys. Keep it short like the other two guys did. Area code 919. What you got for us?
Hey, man. Listen, I'm just going to be quick with this, but it seems like I just got to – why is Ryan Switzer on this team exactly? Because if he's not going to be returning punts, you got Deontay back there. And then when he is on the field, it's like 1 to 0 yard catches.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to me we need to bring Eli Rogers back, because Eli Rogers has been proven to be able to beat man coverage and at least do anything down the field. So if Ryan Switzer is not going to be, catching punts, what is he here for? That's all I got for you, man. It's your boy JJ. I'm out.
Appreciate it, JJ. Very good point, brother. Listen, and some of you guys were saying that. A lot of you guys were saying that before the season, and I was the one kind of saying, well, I think Ben likes him and all that, but it's true. Kenyon said it last week. This dude doesn't offer any yak. And he don't seem to be a man beater at all on the field. So we shall see. Area code 412. You alive? What you got for us?
Hey Sam, it's Smitty from Pittsburgh.
What's up, Smitty?
I'm gonna cut to the chase. I call this the Ben ripple effect. Look, what you see on the field are the two highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, Russell Wilson and Ben Roethlisberger. One is getting paid $33 million, one is getting paid $32 million. Listen, there's no excuse at all. I said this last week, and the last time I called, why it's been starting out this slow and making team decisions that affect this team. This is a Ben effect. Ryan Switzer would not be on this team if Ben did not like him. I honestly think Randy Fichtner might be a good offensive coordinator because he has to force to help his quarterback instead of catering what Ben wants. We already know. Randy told Ben that think of him as his drunk uncle. So I blame Ben. You're getting paid $32 million. Now I'm going to look at the season. I hope Ryan plays good and the Steelers can honestly. I don't think this will happen because I do want Ben to play good, but I just think that Mason Rudolph is if he plays good, we can cut Ben and get that free cap space. That's just my off the bridge theory, but I'm gonna hang up now. Thank you.
No problem, man. Appreciate the call. I wouldn't count on them cutting Ben. Listen, Ben, we are connected to Ben until Ben retires or Ben gets injured. God forbid. I don't want to wish that on anybody, but that ain't gonna happen. But yes, like we said, Ben likes Switzer. Ben probably has way more control than we think on the offensive play calling. Because you notice, when you ever heard Ben say, Randy and I call the play. So, you're right. Moving on. Area code 313. You are live. What you got for us?
What's up, Sam? This your boy Dukes from Detroit once again.
What's going on,
man?
And
just my little ask for it. It's not much. It's gonna be real quick. I watched the game and everything. One, why is Anthony Chickolo on this team and they keep bringing him back? And he proved through training camp and everything, he do not produce. We cut Skipper, which we could have kept Skipper. Skipper, I guarantee, would have made that tackle because he was the best player on defense in preseason. Tomlin always sit up there and holler saying that we keep the best players. If you produce out here, you make the roster. The guys they kept did not really produce, but you cut the guys that produce. Even the kick returner, the boy that got picked up by Denver. This is Spencer. This is what I'm talking about. If you want speed in the slot and get them guys to stretch the field, you got to keep the guys that's producing. You don't keep the unproducing dudes. Same thing with the big fella who gets the penalty. He barely plays. He goes out there in the crucial part of the game and costs us big time. That's the 3-point swing. We don't lose if he don't get that penalty. This is the stuff. But then, Tomlin was saying in the beginning of training camp and everything, we're keeping the people who are producing. You cut 3 of the guys that produce. Please explain that to me. That's all I got, baby.
Good stuff, man. I love the passion that my man Dukes comes with, man. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Listen, because I'm right there with you guys. I think I see it a little differently now, being on the somewhat of the journalist side. Like, I take some of my emotion out, but my emotion is still right there. We don't know if the Skipper going to make that. Skipper was a great pass rusher. We're just saying ifs now, because a lot of dudes miss tackles. Edmonds missed the tackle today. But I get your point, so I'm not going to beat that up. But I don't have nothing else to say, man. I don't disagree with what you said about Tomlin. That's your opinion. Hey, I think all opinions are open. Come on, man. Come on, guys. We got to do better. We got to do better, Steelers. Next up, area code 540. What you got for us?
Hey, man, I just wanted to say that it just felt like our safeties were always late on plays. Yeah. And I'm just saying we got to go get Minka Fitzpatrick, man. We just got to get him. And Keith Butler, he's just so bad. He just doesn't deserve a job at all. And that's all I gotta say. Thank you.
You right, man. I appreciate your call and very quick to the point. Hey, man, listen. Minka, look. Me and Kenya talked about this. Let me say that real quick as a sidebar, and I'll get back to the calls. I'm not opposed to giving up a first. And let me explain to you why. Clearly, the Steelers haven't done a great job picking a first round or even early second round DB. We haven't done it. Sean Davis is still, he's not the worst, but he's still, okay? Terrell Edmonds, I got faith in Edmonds, though. I think Edmonds is going to be all right. Paired with another, if you pair Edmonds with a legit, I mean, not even a world beater, but a solid free safety, I think we got something. Because Edmonds made some plays today. But I'm not opposed to giving up a first or a second because, listen, we have not developed those guys anyway. Minka Fitzpatrick, you know, some people hate him, some people love him, but look, he's a great prospect. The Steelers were interested in him in the draft. They knew they wouldn't get to him. I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at any changes. Let me just put it out there. I'm not mad at any. What I always say, you gotta bust your gun. Unload it. Don't hold nothing back. Go out in the blaze of glory. Next up, area code 803. What you got for us?
Hey, brother. You know, ordinarily I'm kind of upset and a little aggravated and everything, but I must be getting old, so I'm not.
What happened? You went out there a little bit.
I said, I'm sorry. I said, usually I would be, you know, after a game like today, I would be aggravated and upset. I must be getting old. But here we go.
I feel you.
The future's now. The future's now.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph showed me a lot of things I like today.
He did.
But on the other hand, with our coaching staff, Mike Tomlin and our two coordinators, these guys need to have a come-to-Jesus moment, along with Kevin Colbert in a way, because I think, for one thing, Mike Tomlin is too loyal to a fault to some of his coaches. Not so much Fichtner, but Butler has had a long time to get this thing together.
Yeah.
Consistently to keep the defense consistent. Lord, I miss Dick LeBeau, and I also miss Dom Capers, because we are not good at making adjustments.
At all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. I always appreciate your insight, man. It's something about that brother's voice, man. I like the way he sounds, man. I like how he comes in. Him and Dukes. I love Duke's passion, and I like my man 803, his perspective on things. I'll be real quick with that. You were right about that loyalty thing. You know, I know, and even Kenyon enlightened us a while back when he was on the show. We know the situation with Butler and you know, upper management, but still, I still feel like the head coach, I do still feel like he has some say in cutting or firing a guy. You know what I mean? And you are absolutely right about that. He does seem to be loyal. And the Steelers doesn't really seem... See, here's the organizational thing. They don't really seem to fire people, but they let the contract expire. And I think Butler might be on the last year of it. And maybe Tomlin, that's why he brought Austin in, and maybe he's grooming him. I don't know. But either way, we don't make adjustments. And that's what happened. Area code 864. What you got for us?
Hey, how you doing, Sim? This is Chris.
Good, man.
I think
how you
the
doing?
Steelers, I'm doing all right. I think Tomlin, I think he made a mistake by putting all his eggs in the basket of Ben. I think he need to admit that he made that mistake. And, like, Fichtner, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. I think Switzer was a big mistake. I didn't even write down nothing of what I was gonna say.
Don't worry about it. Freestyle.
I think he just made I think they just made a mistake. I think Tomlin just made a mistake of putting all his eggs in the basket of Ben and trusting Ben so much, man. So that's just my thought, and that's all for me. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Definitely appreciate the call, man. And I saw somebody came across the wire. Somebody said, what What y'all say? ESPN said we might lose Ben. Y'all talk about to injury. Is it a serious injury? But yeah, I wanted to talk about really quick too the skipper thing. Because one of you guys, I think Lawrence in here said it's more than just the missed tackle. You're right. I wanted to keep Tuzar skipper. I really did, and I think it was some other room, some more fat we could have trimmed from instead of letting him go. And it might come back to haunt us, man. So you guys are right about that. All right, area code. Whoa, we got a bunch of calls, man. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me get a time check. Might have to cut us off soon, guys. We already at 40 minutes, but let me stop yapping and get back to the action. Area code 609. What you got for us?
What's going on, SimFBallCritic?
Good. How you doing? Make sure you mute that background. We can hear double audio.
Okay, no problem.
There you go.
Oh man, what I gotta say? First thing first, Pittsburgh gotta get rid of Dante Moncrief. You know,
Yeah.
that was like you said in the show. It was a turning point of the game when you needed him the most. He doesn't show up. This happened last week against New England. Defense looks vanilla. Ben, I don't know what's good with Ben, but you can see the difference that without Antonio Brown, you see what the offense looks like. It's stagnant and everything else. Juju's the only positive on the offensive stuff. Yeah. Why get rid of Skipper? Why get rid of Spencer? Why get rid of like the productive players? You let go of the productive players to get unproductive players. Like, how does that make sense? And our defense is too vanilla and stuff. We just gotta we just gotta reset. I feel as though we have to reset now and just we have to re-cooperate, because now in a few weeks we probably gonna have to play Baltimore. We gotta play Cincinnati. We gotta play Cleveland, and our schedule is looking really tough. So we got to get on the streak. Next week is really crucial, critical, and important. That's all I gotta say, and have a good day.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. And just to let you guys know, man, we got like 7 more calls in the queue. Rapid fire. Let's do rapid fire. So I'm going to even hold some of my commentary. But yes, time for something new in a nutshell. Area code 318. What you got for us?
What's going on, man? I'm going to try to be quick as I can. I know you got to get to the other calls. I wanted to touch on a few things. At the beginning of the game, we come out looking like we was putting out the same game plan as we did in New England. Okay, we went 3 and out, I think, 3 times in a row. Okay, it's just vanilla. There's no playmakers on the field. Ben isn't looking as bad as everybody thinks he is. Nobody's getting open at all.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Yep.
I think defenses have taken a page out of Jacksonville's playbook when it comes to playing us, because they always have problems with Jacksonville. We do, and then that's what they look like they're doing, some of the same. Okay, and then Randy Fittner, when Mason Rudolph comes in, you start calling plays that you should have been calling when Ben was in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You start calling good plays to get you, dig and dunk stuff, get you momentum. He made 9 straight completions. Okay, and then you notice also Ben started calling his own plays at one time. That's when he got going.
He sure did.
But, man, and as far as the clock management, I don't understand that, why Tomlin did that. He called 2 timeouts within 16 seconds. And it was 2 minutes, 16 seconds left. Why not just let the 2-minute warning run down? Like you say, if you're going to use it as your third time. You know what I mean? Have one.
Use it early if you're going to do that.
And my last thing, right. And my last thing, on 3rd and 16, we got to stop them. Two times prior to this down, we watched Russell Wilson run right up the gut. Break free right up the gut. And he can't run like he used to. You can see it. He don't look near as fast as he used to be. But he can make a play. Okay, why is Keith Butler not putting a spy or somebody just designated for this? He runs right up the middle in their shot. You know what I mean? It's just baffling that no adjustments. It's hard to watch, man. But I'm gonna let you get on down the line on the calls, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. Appreciate the call, and you hit on it perfect. I was gonna say that earlier and forgot. I remember saying out loud watching the game, spy. Russell Wilson has scrambled twice already in his drive. You know it's coming. And what did I say in the pregame show? And I got to go back and look and see whether we were in man or not, but that was my biggest fear. Don't be in man too much in certain down and distance because Russell will take off. And if you're not in man, you got to rush from the middle. It is what it is. All right, guys, rapid fire. Area code 520. What you got for us?
Hey, what's good, my man?
Good. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm going to make this quick. First of all, gentlemen, I've been a Steelers fan for a long time. My handle is one man's opinion. Quarterback change has been for the last 4 years. Mike Tomlin is an affirmative action coach, not on his own making, and the system is not going to change. The system is not going to change because of the owners. The owners is who they are.
Yeah.
We need a quarterback who always drives the system. So everyone's talking about all these different players, you know, Tuzar or whoever. Makes no difference unless you have a quarterback. Lastly, on the quarterbacks of today is Lamar Jackson. If you don't have one, you're going to be talking about shows like this. Have a good day, sir.
I appreciate the call. Look, man, it's a lot of things, and some of y'all probably noticed this about me. It's a lot of things I don't say because I want to hear it from somebody else to see if anybody else, let's call it what it is. Mike Tomlin has been a good coach. He's gotten us a Super Bowl. He's kept us in competition for a good amount of years. He has had some down years. We all know his woes. Yes, the Rooney Rule is definitely in effect. Let's be honest. Listen, I'm an African-American man, as you guys can see clearly. Of course, I'm proud of seeing a black head coach, get his fair shot like everybody else. But I'm not opposed to a white coach either. Loved Bill Cowher. Let's keep it real. Tomlin is probably a product of that. However, he has been very successful. He's let us down in key moments, so I'm not going to just blame it on that, but you can't ignore that. You definitely can't ignore that. Could be part of the reason why he's still hanging on. Who knows? I'm not going to ignore that fact. And you don't necessarily got to have a Lamar Jackson. I understand your point, but I think Kenyon said it earlier in the chat. Tom Brady got 6 rings. Just got one last year. All right, moving on, guys. Area code 704. What you got for us?
Yeah, what's up, Sam? First time caller here, man. I've been a Steelers fan for since the 70s, actually. I'm about 51, but anyway, I like to touch base. I mean, man, it's just straight up garbage what I'm watching right now. It's pitiful. And I'm telling you, man, I'm just going to be up. What I see defensively, up the seam, we get busted every year. Patriots are good at it. Seattle's doing the same thing to us. They busted up the seam. It don't matter if it's the pass or the run or whatever. Play great on the outside, on the flats and all. No problem, But up the seam, we are getting gutted. And he's got to go. Deep coordinator, whatever, he's got to go. I mean, if they don't make that change, I'm probably ain't going to watch the rest of the year because it's going to be the same old garbage.
Yeah.
And offensively, when you got somebody like Roethlisberger, he's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but he's got a lot of age. But I'm going to tell you, preseason, we got a new offense, new wide receivers. You got to have that continuity there. And he won one quarter, all he played. And I'm not going to keep this beyond long, but Mason Rudolph, why does he have to have an interception on the stats when you daggone a wide receiver who cannot catch a cold last week? I mean, I'd get the scissors out of him. Moncrief, he looked good for somebody else. Now, if we go cut him, guess what? Patriots pick him up. It looked like a world beater, probably.
Right.
But I can't help it. We can't help that. So, scissors for him. If we got Ben next year, say you're gonna play more in the preseason, so we can build a repertoire for receivers and all. But have a good day, man, and continue to watch the show, man. You're doing a great job.
Appreciate you, man. Really appreciate your call, and thank you for watching for the first time, man. It's always great to hear from new callers and just reach new viewers. Yeah, I mean, I say yes to everything you said there. It gets sickening at a point. Even though I'm probably really understanding, but it gets sickening to a point when you just see the same thing happen over and over and over and over. So there you have it. Really quick, guys, just to give you guys a heads up, we're at 49 minutes. I'm only going to take these last 3 calls. So 480 will be the last one. Keep it really short, guys. A minute if you can, and we'll get out of here. 334. You are live. What you got for us?
Yes, sir, man. Hey, you know how I do it. I tell the facts, man. I tell the facts. I told you last week that the old horse in the barn got to go. You know, he just got to go. I mean, I know you love him. I know your fans that call in and say, I love me some Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger got to go. Just like I told you, there was a dirty deal what they did to Dobbs, but you're going to pay for it, though.
Now,
that was a dirty deal.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Listen to me.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Listen to me now. You let Dobbs go. You got Rudolph. I ain't never said Rudolph was a bad quarterback. He did great today, coming off the bench. Matter of fact, he stepped his game up 2 notches because what I saw in preseason, he missed a lot of reads. But today, I didn't see that. Tomlin got to go. The whole coaching staff got to go. You don't want to accept this, but it's facts. I guarantee before the mid-season break, Tomlin is out the door.
Hey, we shall see.
He is a finesse coach. He is a finesse coach.
All right, man, 10 seconds. We got to move.
Hat on hat. You got to play hat on hat and get back to running that old-fashioned Steeler down the chimney, whatever, how you want to put it, type of football. Thank you.
No doubt. Listen, I agree with you, man. Listen, I'm not opposed to changes. The 2 things I'll say really quick, and then I'll get our last 2 callers. 973. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to get you in tonight, man. We're already pushing. I can't go past the hour, so I might not be able to get you tonight. The next 2 calls will be 312 and 480. Making changes, I'm never opposed to that, ever. Even if that means Tomlin being gone. Listen, it is what it is. He had a great run. But like I said, for those people who lean that way, and I'm not having one opinion or the other. I'm just saying, for those who lean that way, we'll see. We'll see who the next guy is that comes in. If people think it's just Tomlin, you're mistaken. And the Dobbs thing, that's one man's opinion, man. Like the other caller. I don't know what people are seeing in Dobbs, but it is what it is. Area code 312. What you got for us?
Yeah, hey, what's up, man? This is Tristan out of Chicago.
What's going on, man?
No, I'll actually might be a little bit more optimistic than a lot of people. I do agree that I think Keith Butler needs to go.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Tomlin fan. I am a fan of Mike Tomlin. I do think the system that they are running on offense and defense does seem very vanilla. I don't feel like they're really adjusting to the times. I do feel like I don't agree with the quarterback take that one of the callers had about Lamar, but I do think John Harbaugh is a perfect example of like a coach that can change, mid-season or change each year. I feel like the Steelers try to do the same things, and it's even harder to do the same things with less talent than you had in years past. And I feel like they aren't making it easier for Ben.
Very true.
And I think that's why Ben isn't looking too good so far. Like, I know people are going to say, oh, he's getting old, but I mean, Tom Brady's 42. He's still throwing touchdowns. Phillip Rivers is old. Like, a lot of the Hall of Fame quarterbacks that are still playing are old, but they're still good. And I think their coaches help them out more. I feel like Ben isn't getting as much help. And then on defense, I don't know. For Tom to be a secondary coach, I just don't see how the secondary can never get better. And I guess that's just what's frustrating me watching the defense. It seems like the secondary is just not getting better. But I just hope that they make some change. I'm still optimistic. Like I already feel like they're gonna win next week, even though San Fran's looking good. I just think that they need to wake up and when it comes to the coordinators. But that's all I have to say. I love the show. Yeah. Appreciate
it, man. Definitely appreciate the call. And my goodness, I didn't realize Drew Brees went down. Wow. I can't wait to I want to see my boy Teddy Bridgewater in action a little bit after the show. Last call of the night, guys. Like I said, 480. Keep it really short for me, guys. I know we kind of got away from our minute. Keep it short. Then I'll use the last 5 minutes to reflect a little bit, and then we get out of here. Area code 480. What you got for us?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. First, I'm making my my homemade Minka jersey. Hey, we need playmakers on defense.
Yeah.
Hey, I think we got the talent, but we need that person to put us over the top. You know what I mean? Secondly, to me, the highlight of the game, Cam Sutton's 2 tackles. Bro, that had me up. This boy needs some reps just off those 2 tackles.
Yeah.
Third, what I saw, I think Ben, he looks really sluggish, really heavy-footed. I feel like we'll praise Ben if he throws for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, makes the perfect read. But against any rush, I feel like he just gives up and looks down and, takes the sack, which is a good thing. But what I'm trying to say is Mason Rudolph, he looked pretty dang good. Other than that pick, I loved the game. Chicolo, dude, that play killed me. He can't be giving up those type of plays, man. Losing by 2, those plays are the ones that loses the game. Lastly, Russell Wilson, I knew he was gonna run. We need to do something about that. He ran, I think, 3 drop. Well, he didn't. They weren't draw plays, but he ran 3 times. That ultimately gutted us for that first down. But yeah, some good and some bad, but that's what I saw.
Absolutely, man, and I appreciate your call. Some great points there. That's going to do it as far as the calls tonight, guys. So anyone I may have missed, I apologize. But like I told you guys, man, I got to keep some structure. We have 56 minutes right now. It's an hour. Got to go eat. Got to head back over to Leonard's house. But a couple things I want to reflect on really quick. And then we'll talk more about upcoming opponent and what it means to the Steelers on Tuesday. So for you guys who are new tonight, I also do Terrible Towel Tuesday. We watch some game film via Game Pass, and I'll give my thoughts on the upcoming opponent. And there you have it. And give us a little time to digest the game. But a couple things I want to reference from the chat here. Number one, people are saying bring in Mike McCarthy. Okay, I'm not opposed to Mike McCarthy. I think he is a good coach. But let's slow down a little bit. Go look at his records. Look at Tomlin's records. They pretty much mirror. I'm just saying. And him and Aaron Rodgers couldn't really get along, so that's kind of what broke things up in Green Bay. But I'm just saying, do you guys think that he's a head and shoulders, better coach than Mike Tomlin? I mean, I don't know if we could say that. Just based off of history, I don't know if we could say that. I'm just being real. I'm not defending Tomlin, or I'm not shooting down McCarthy. I'm just saying that's a pretty fair comparison. I don't know how we're thinking we're going to excel with a guy that pretty much his career has been just like Tomlin's. I see one guy says anybody over Tomlin. Hey, listen, we all got our own opinions. I'm not here to debate that. I let you guys do that. I'm done with the whole Tomlin thing as far as if he should be fired. I let you guys have that. Another thing, some people say bring in Rex Ryan. Listen, I wouldn't be opposed to a Rex Ryan type of defense the way he was in Baltimore. That Rex Ryan. Now, I'm not saying he could do that with us, but I want to see some creativity with the personnel we have. We have to do that. That's one thing that Bill Belichick does, man. And actually, Belichick doesn't even go creative, but he gets the best out of what he has as far as his staff. And now they actually have a pretty solid defense that could be scary. But that's what he's always done. And I don't think we're utilizing these guys to the best of their ability. Clearly, Keith Butler is not making enough adjustments and not putting guys in the right position on key moments. I'm still seeing him do things that is, you can tell another team is going to be able to beat that. No variation. Very vanilla. And then also, I want to talk about the Ben Roethlisberger thing, man. Listen, I don't think Ben is not the problem right now to me. This is, again, just my opinion. It's not Ben. Now, if we are to learn that Ben is overriding things when he is out there, yeah. If Ben is keeping Randy Fichtner from opening up the playbook, I got a problem with that. But just looking at the game, I don't think what I'm seeing is just Ben's performance. We ain't been on the field long enough for me to say he's doing bad. Again, when I watch the film, and I can't wait to watch this one, it's a lot of guys that ain't open. Particularly against New England. Ain't nothing Ben can do about that. And then I got to lean on Randy Fichtner to throw some creativity in there. The run game is not looking that great. Started having some spurts here and there later on in the game. But what about the O-line? The O-line wasn't giving Ben hardly any time when we was in empty set. Just saying, man. It's more than just what meets the eye. I know a lot of people are going to say, Ben was terrible. You got to look at the whole spectrum. I don't yet think it was Ben Roethlisberger, and I think Mason Rudolph's success was a product of variety of plays. I mean, I even saw some motions that he was doing was different. Like that little fake toss throw. There was a lot of different plays that I don't see Ben run. And I don't know what we could contribute to that. Even look at Mason Rudolph's form on that play action when he threw the touchdown to McDonald, the second one. Rudolph looking like a stud, man. I mean, again, it's early. I'm not crowning him. I'm just saying I feel better about him being the eventual successor based off of what he's showing me in his second year. We'll see. But outside of that, man, I'm going to get out of here. Let me see what else you guys got. We're right at an hour. Perfect timing. And yeah, I'm not gonna read comments tonight. Let's shut this down. We'll be back. We'll be back on Tuesday. So for you guys who are new tonight, definitely come out on Tuesday for Terrible Towel Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are new and if you enjoyed the discussion, if you enjoy what I do, if you enjoy the chat section, hit that subscribe button, man. Come on, be a part of the party. Be a part of the family. We'll welcome you in. Hit the like button, guys, please. Please, that helps me out tremendously. Hit that like button. Help me to grow. So we can all be one big happy family. And then outside of that, make sure you come back. You know, make sure you come back. We have a good time here. I have a phone queue open for you guys to call in. So let's do that. Oh, last thing. I hate saying it, but if you guys want to donate, down in the right corner, left corner actually of the chat section, you can hit the $sign to donate using YouTube. If you prefer another means, I do have PayPal. I do have Cash App. That information is in the description. Always appreciate it. Never required. All right, but outside of that, man, let's try to stomach this one. We'll talk more about it on Tuesday of how we're feeling about the team after we see what these injuries mean and things like that. And we'll be back, man, to discuss more, you know, how we're currently feeling about our Pittsburgh Steelers. I know it sucks, but we'll be all right. But all right, man, catch you guys later. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy some football for the rest of the weekend, and I'll talk to you guys on Tuesday. And thanks for tuning in to the Terrible Towel post-game show. Peace. And I'm still here. Peace again.